Happy birthday. The phone wouldn't stop vibrating. 43 missed calls. 10 from her lawyer. I watched the screen light up again. Their names, their panic, their desperation. I didn't answer. Instead, I traced the faint crease in the bus ticket they had given me exactly 1 week ago. A one-way escape, wrapped in shiny birthday paper. My children's hands clapping, my wife's lips curling in a smile sharp enough to cut through skin. Happy birthday, they had said. Goodbye, they had meant. The calls buzzed on, but my mind was elsewhere, on the box I had sent them, the one that now sat open in their living room. I knew the moment they lifted the lid, their world shifted, the same way mine had when I unwrapped that gift. But unlike me, they didn't have the luxury of leaving. It began with silence, not the ordinary silence of routine, but something colder, a silence that hums, that suffocates, that hides words unsaid. Her phone face down at dinner, her eyes elsewhere, her laughter too forced, too delayed. I tried to believe it was stress, fatigue, anything but betrayal. My children echoed her distance, polite, rehearsed, as if they were practicing lines for a play where I was no longer a character. Then came my birthday, the cake, the candles, the neatly wrapped box placed before me with trembling excitement. I tore the paper, I smiled, I held up the ticket. They clapped, they cheered. But her eyes gave her away. Relief, not love. The relief of someone who no longer needed to pretend. Time for you to leave, she said softly, almost sweetly. We've found a better life. He can give us more than you ever could. Her boyfriend, her rich escape, my replacement. I didn't argue, I didn't shout. I thanked them, kissed my children's heads, and walked out with the ticket in my pocket. But inside, something fractured. Quietly, irrevocably. I didn't take the bus. Instead, I rented a room 3 towns over, a place with peeling wallpaper and thin walls where no one asked questions. I began to watch, to trace the outlines of their new life. Phone records first, late-night calls, always to the same number, bank statements, withdrawals at restaurants I had never been invited to. Her laughter carried through messages she forgot to delete from the cloud. His promises, her sighs, my children's voices in the background calling him Uncle. I listened to every recording with a surgeon's precision, dissecting tone, inflection, meaning. Then I moved to photographs, the ones they thought hidden. Him at their table, his hand on her shoulder, my children smiling wider than they had in years. Each piece of evidence felt like ice under my skin. But my face in the mirror stayed still, composed. No confrontation, no theatrics. I waited. I planned. They thought they had removed me cleanly, like a stain scrubbed out of fabric. But stains have a way of bleeding back. The truth was never about her love for him. It was about her hatred for me, quiet, methodical, fed over years. She had told the children I was weak, that I was holding them back, that I couldn't provide. And they believed her. Children believe the voice that feeds them. I discovered the will she drafted with her new lawyer. My name erased. His name etched in. My life's work signed over to a man who hadn't bled for it. The betrayal wasn't a knife in the back. It was a slow strangulation, a suffocation disguised as kindness. So I sent the box. Not a weapon, not a threat, evidence. Every photograph, every call transcript, every withdrawal slip. Each truth wrapped neatly inside. When they opened it, they didn't just see my silence. They saw themselves, exposed, naked, irrefutable. That was the gift I gave them. The first call came from her, screaming, pleading, "You don't understand." I hung up. The second came from my eldest, his voice cracked, the rehearsed confidence gone. "Dad, please, it's not what you think." But I had already thought it. I had lived it. I had tasted it every night I lay alone. Then the lawyer's calls began, 10 in total. Voicemails full of urgency, threats wrapped in politeness. But what could they do? The truth was theirs now, a mirror they couldn't shatter. I answered only once. She sobbed. "Why would you do this to us?" My voice was calm, detached. "I didn't do anything to you. I just returned the favor." The line went silent. Then a faint sound, her breath breaking, the collapse of someone realizing the mask would never fit again. Now, I sit in the same room with peeling wallpaper, the phone still buzzing, their world unraveling one call at a time. I feel no triumph, no rage, only clarity. They gave me a ticket out. They thought it meant exile, but it became freedom. I didn't lose a family. I lost a performance, a stage built on lies. And as their calls fade into the night, I understand something final.
They never abandoned me. They only revealed who they truly were. And I finally revealed who I am. I let the phone ring one last time, then placed it face down. Some gifts are better left unopened.